Hey mama, if you're listening to this, you might be carrying a secret that feels too heavy to speak out loud. You look like you got it all together, you serve at church, maybe you even lead a Bible study. You smile when you drop off the kids, but no one sees the other side of you, the one that comes out behind closed doors. At home, you are a completely different person. You yell, you explode, you scream at your kids, sometimes in their face. You tell them to shut up. You grab them too harshly. You throw things across the room. You smack them in anger, twist their ears, spank them in rage, and immediately after, you are hit with a tidal wave of shame. You cry alone in your room and you whisper, "God, what is wrong with me?" You feel scared and disgusted by your own reactions. You're terrified that someone might find out. You wonder if your kids would be better off without you. You feel unworthy, broken, and too far gone to be redeemed. You try to fix this on your own. You listen to podcasts, parenting books, download freebies, but nothing changes. You keep falling back into the same patterns, and it feels like you are stuck in a cycle that you can't break. You don't trust yourself anymore, and if you're honest, you are afraid of who you've become. But here's the truth, Mama. You are not beyond hope. You're not alone, and with God's help and the right support, you can change. I'm Elizabeth, a mom of 4, and an anger management coach for Christian moms. And inside my Calm Christian Mom coaching program, I guide women just like you through a powerful transformation. This isn't shallow behavior management. We go deep. We address your triggers, your stress, your mindset, your nervous system, and the spiritual root behind your patterns. We invite God into every layer and walk hand in hand towards healing. In just 12 weeks, you can become a completely different mom, unrecognizable. One who leads with patience, not panic. One whose children feel emotionally safe around her. You don't have to keep living like this. Your family is worth healing, and so are you. I want to ask you a question. Do you ever feel guilty when you crave alone time as a mom? Do you feel like it's selfish to take time away from your kids, or like you must always be productive? If yes, then this episode is for you. I used to feel the same way. I used to feel guilty for wanting alone time away from my kids, for wanting to be by myself. And here's something that I learned that I'm going to share with you in this podcast episode that was really eye-opening for me, and it was super helpful for me to have that different perspective to allow me to release that guilt of feeling guilty for wanting to have alone time. So if you were participating in the free anger management bootcamp that I hosted early September of this year, you know how much effort I probably put into it from the perspective of there was a lot of free, helpful resources for you. Then moms that really were involved, they also joined the Slack channel where every day I participated in there and I posted homework assignments, reflection questions, and then responded to every single person that responded to their homework questions. And it was just a lot of output. First of all, like weeks before, prepping for everything was a lot of output. I would say for 4 weeks straight, I was outputting, like doing a lot of work behind the scenes, prepping for the boot camp. And the week of the boot camp was a lot of work. I was so drained mentally and emotionally and even physically by the end of the week. And the reason is not because I didn't love doing it. I love doing and serving the mamas there, but I was just very emotionally and mentally and physically tired from constantly outputting on top of my regular home responsibilities. And then the week after that was enrollment week, which I am so grateful for. I had 4 mamas that joined the Calm Christian Mom coaching program. I have one more mama that has a consultation call still set up this week. And I'm looking forward to enrolling one more mom into the Calm Christian Mom coaching program. And that was also very emotional week for me with all the consultation calls, because in the beginning of the week, nobody was booking anything. And the consultation calls got booked towards the end of the week. So that was very also emotionally challenging for me. So this week, Sunday night, I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to go to the beach by myself for a while. So we live in Northeast Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and live about 40 minutes away from the beach. At this time, all my kids go to school. My daughter is 4 years old. She started preschool and she has half days every single day. And this is the time that I use to work on my business and do client calls. Or doing the behind the scenes, recording the podcast episode, doing the emails, all the things. Well, I love doing that. And I thought, well, what if once a month I take one morning a week and instead of working, I go to the beach? And because it's like I drop off the kids, I'd come home, change, get ready. I would drive to the beach. It's about 40 minutes. And that's what I did. I grabbed myself a Starbucks drink. I like the mango dragon fruit drink. Super good. I love it. And so I grabbed myself a drink and grabbed a book, a chair, and I went to the beach. I put the chair down, left the book, and I went on a walk with my drink for about 20, 25 minutes, came back to my chair and just sat there, watched the waves. Just quiet and stillness. No music, no podcasts, literally just me and the ocean. Obviously, there were people there, but I wasn't like talking to them. It was so life-giving for me. So life-giving. Hour and a half I spent at the beach. Because between, the drives and picking my daughter up from school, I needed to be back at a certain time. It was so life-giving for me. I don't do this often. And I know that in the past, I would feel so guilty. Oh, I have work to do. Oh, I have household things to do. I could do errands. I could do XYZ. And there's a lot of things I could be doing instead of that. But I knew that I was feeling depleted because I was outputting so much. And I needed some time to myself to recharge. And this is what is going on behind the scenes to shift my perspective. I know that many moms feel guilty about having alone time. It's a common struggle. This is something that happens to a lot of moms. And if this is you, you're not the only one that feels that way. And here's how I shifted my perspective. Nobody benefits when I'm running on empty, and nobody suffers when I take care of myself. Okay. And that is a quote that I heard a while back, and I thought it was so, so, so good. And I have no idea who said it, but I really, really like that quote. And I share it with my clients all the time. The other week, this was something that I was talking with my clients about. We were talking about the 5 love languages. Have you ever heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages? It is originally made for marriage. The 5 love languages. And then there's a book for kids speaking the 5 love languages in regards to your kids. And then I remember hearing from my mindset coach about using the 5 love languages to yourself. If you don't know what 5 love languages are, let me share with you how you can apply them to your spouse, to your kids, and also to yourself to express love and care for yourself. Because not all self-care is equal. For some people, certain things are very life-giving and for others are not. And so this is how you will know which ones are very life-giving for you. So the 5 love languages in your relationships towards other people, how people perceive to feel loved when that love language is expressed to them. So words of affirmation. Let's say this is your love language, you feel loved through kind words, encouraging and appreciative words. For example, when somebody says, I love you, compliments you, or writes you heartfelt notes, that just really speaks to you. Like it just means a ton to you. The next one is acts of service. If this is your love language, you feel really loved when someone helps you out with tasks or responsibilities. So for me personally, this is one of mine, acts of service. I feel loved when someone helps me out with tasks, when my husband helps me out with the tasks, especially when they just step in. Instead of like me asking him for help, if he just steps in and helps himself, like starts helping me on his own. For example, doing the dishes, cooking a meal together, or running an errand together. So acts of service, doing something together. And the next one is receiving gifts. Like the person would feel loved if they receive gifts. You feel loved through thoughtful gifts that show you that the other person was intentionally thinking about you. So I will give you an example. So mine is not receiving gifts. I don't necessarily enjoy giving gifts to others, and I don't care. I mean, it's nice to get a gift, but it's not like I don't necessarily feel loved when somebody gives me a gift. I'd rather spend time with them or do an activity, acts of service together. And so, but I'll give you an example of a meaningful, thoughtful gift. And so this was the first year my husband and I were married. My husband went on a work trip, and it was his first time away from me after we got married. He was gone for a few days. And when he came back, he brought me something, and it was like this little tiny clay piglet. It's like a little round piglet. And he gave this to me, and I'm just like, I look at him super confused. I'm like, why in the world would you get me a little tiny piglet? And then he says this, because it stinks without you. And that is an example of a very thoughtful, meaningful gift. Now, if that was my love language, it would like be the best thing ever. I thought it was cute and funny, but it's not something like when people give me gifts, I do not get attached to them. I can easily let them go. Like, hey, especially if it's not something I truly wanted or needed, I can easily let things go. I'm not sentimental in that way. People that love language is their gifts, they'll be super sentimental. The people that love gifts, they will love small surprises, meaningful presents, or tokens of affection, okay? Quality time. If this is your love language, you feel loved when someone gives you their full attention and spends meaningful time with you. Like, I mean like undivided attention. So everybody has a primary and a secondary love language. So my primary is acts of service, a secondary is quality time. And I love spending quality time with my family, my husband, my kids. And I actually prefer to go like on a girls' day dinner with like one or two friends. I don't like a group of people. I just like one or two people, undivided attention, quality time, phones away, we talk, we connect. Like it's deep conversations, going on a walk together. Love family walks. One of my favorite things. Favorite part of my day is going on family walks with my family or having uninterrupted dinner. So for me, having dinner with phones put away, with no screens, like that is super important to me. Okay. And then last love language is physical touch. Some people feel really loved through physical touch, feeling loved through appropriate and affectionate physical contact. Examples like hugs, holding hands, kisses, a pat on the back, rubbing your back. So my husband, this is his love language. One of my boys, and this is his love language. He constantly wants to cuddle and sit next to me. He always asks me to rub his back. We will go on a walk and he will like hold my hand. He's 10 years old, or like give me a side hug. So whatever is your love language, how do you know what is your love language? Is it words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or physical touch? Whatever you tend to complain most about towards your spouse and your kids, that's very likely your love language. If you complain, we never spend time together, we never hang out, that's your love language. If you complain, you never help me around the house, always have so much to do, there's like not enough help, acts of service is your love language. If you get really upset if somebody doesn't get you a gift on your birthday or your anniversary, like I could care less. My husband and I don't do gifts for anniversaries. Even for birthdays, he just had a birthday this week and we don't do gifts. We'll just go out to dinner. Like neither of us, gifts is our love language, but one of my boys, definitely gifts is his thing. Like he will think about his gift months in advance, what he wants. And I mean, he'll change his mind, but like he loves to give gifts and he loves to receive gifts. Okay. And so whatever is your love language, that's how you naturally express love to others. And that's how you feel loved. And we will like transfer all this, how this relates to taking care of yourself in just a minute. Acts of service is another one. My oldest son really likes to do things together. I go grocery shopping. He's 13 and he asks if he could come with me every single time. And normally I don't even buy anything for him. He just wants to do things together. He will load the cart, unload it. He will be like doing things together. Or if I need him to help with something, we're doing things together. He really likes doing that. And then words of affirmation. I don't think any of my kids are really into words of affirmation. And my husband, neither. Like he does tell all of us every day, my husband to me and the kids that I love you and kind things, but writing notes to each other and words of affirmations, like specifically, I don't think any of my family members are that. But here's how it all wraps up to taking care of yourself. How do you know what is going to serve you best? Okay. So whatever love language you feel most loved by, is it words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or physical touch? That is how you will naturally express love to others. So if your love language is physical touch, you're going to want to touch others. If your love language is quality time, you're going to want to spend quality time with others. Okay. Receiving gifts, you're going to want to give gifts to others. It's going to come naturally and you won't have an issue spending money on that. Acts of service, you want to do kind things to others and you will speak life into others. If words of affirmations is your love language, this is how you receive love and this is how you give love to others. So let's transfer this to how to take care of yourself, okay? So for me personally, my love language is acts of service and quality time. And so quality time, I love, love, love spending time by myself. Like it's kind of crazy, but my husband even sometimes gets upset. Why do you like to be by yourself? I'm like, I like myself. I literally enjoy spending time by myself. Like, I like the type of person I am. And so I enjoy being by myself. I don't get bored by myself. I love spending quality time by myself. And so carving out solo time for like prayer. I love getting up in the morning before my family and spending quality time by myself. Journaling, doing a hobby, or just quiet. So my kids are in school and in the mornings, and I will go for a walk in the mornings. And sometimes I will respond to client messages and sometimes I will just walk. Sometimes I'll pray. Sometimes it's just nothing. I will just walk without any noise or stimulation, no podcast, nothing, just quiet. I love that quality time. It just makes me feel so fulfilled. And the other one is acts of service and doing something for myself or like for future me that will help me set things up to make things easier, like meal prep, having routines, delegating things, planning things. For me, acts of service. So that is how I express love to myself. So if I can have quality time while I'm meal prepping and planning the routines and like organizing things, that is something that is just so life-giving for me. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be life-giving for you. Okay. Everybody's different. Okay. If words of affirmation is your personal love language, then speaking kindly to yourself, writing down affirmations or meditations, or like writing down uplifting truths about yourself, that is going to be super life-giving to you. So one of the things that I've done is I actually have recorded affirmations over myself to help my mind stay in a positive mindset, especially when it comes to business, but even for motherhood. The other love language that we talked about is receiving gifts. So if receiving gifts is your love language, you're going to want to treat yourself with small, meaningful things that bring you joy. For example, buying flowers for yourself, buying a book, getting yourself a coffee. That is going to be like, you're going to feel loved when you take care of yourself in that way. And then physical touch would be taking care of your body, like exercising, moving your body, skincare, okay, a warm bath, a cozy blanket. Like those are ways that you would want to take care of yourself that's going to feel really life-giving for you specifically. And so I challenge my clients. I'm like, okay, what is something that you can do, a way for you to take care of yourself? So usually, however you express love to others, that is how you like to feel loved as well, by others and by yourself. And that's going to be so life-giving for you when you figure out what that is specifically for you. So here are some Bible verses that will help you have a good frame of mind about this, because sometimes we feel really guilty about taking care of ourselves. And we feel like, oh, it's a waste of time. It's selfish. Okay. And that is a narrative we created in our mind. Okay. Here's what the Bible says, Matthew 22:39. And it talks about love your neighbor as yourself, which implies that you must love yourself too. You must take care of yourself too. Okay. And then the verse that helps us feel not selfish about taking care of ourselves Okay. And that is Luke 5:16. It talks about when Jesus he withdrew to a lonely place and prayed to be by himself. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. Here's a mindset shift about feeling guilty about taking care of yourself. Okay. You ask yourself this question: am I doing anything wrong by taking care of myself? Am I doing anything sinful? Am I doing anything harmful? The answer is no. You're not selfish for resting and taking care of yourself, okay? Nobody benefits when you're running it empty. Nobody suffers when you take care of yourself. What is the cost of neglecting taking care of yourself? You feel run down, feel depleted, you feel reactive and resentful, and it comes out in your attitude and your behavior towards your family. And this is what happens when you're constantly outputting and you never fill up. If you're running in an empty tank, you cannot go really far. It's pulling from somewhere, your emotional, mental, or physical well-being. And so it is important to take care of yourself. I heard this once on a podcast. They were talking about taking care of yourself as a mom and feeling guilty for doing that. And one of the hosts said this. She's like, feel guilty and do it anyway, because you're not doing anything wrong by doing that. It is very uncomfortable in the very beginning when you start taking care of yourself if you haven't done it in a very long time. But over time, the more you practice it, the guilt fades, because there's difference between destructive guilt and convicting guilt. When you actually did do something wrong, yes, there's a convicting guilt from the Lord, and that's a good thing. Destructive guilt and false guilt, it's not serving you. That is false guilt. You're not doing anything wrong, sinful, or harmful by taking care of yourself. You know what? Feel the guilt and do it anyway. Because over time, that guilt is going to subside. And with the mindset shifts that you are going to implement, it's going to go away over time. And the mindset shift is nobody benefits when I'm running and empty. Nobody suffers when I take care of myself. I can serve my family much better if I take good care of myself. What are the benefits of taking care of yourself? Let's ask that. What are the benefits? The benefits is that you show up calmer, more patient, and more present. You feel energized. You feel restored. You feel so much better about yourself. You feel healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. If you get up in the morning and you spend time with the Lord, if you move your body, if you journal and you get your mindset in the right place. When you make breakfast, you also make breakfast for yourself that is nourishing for you, and you take good care of yourself. How is anybody suffering? You show up in a better place emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually for your family. Everybody benefits from that, from a mama that is thriving and is enjoying her motherhood. So now I'm going to give you 15 ways that you can take care of yourself starting today. Okay. And that includes all those things that we talked about earlier on through the 5 love languages. Taking the supplements, eat nourishing meals, go for a short walk, journal, take a warm bath, have a solid morning routine with prayer and Bible time, move your body, stretch, exercise, listen to worship music or a podcast, quiet coffee or tea time alone, meet up with a friend for a play date or a mom connection, step outside for fresh air, take a nap if possible, schedule a babysitter or swap with another mom to take some time to yourself, declutter a small space. It also creates a mental peace for you. Do something creative, painting, baking, music, gardening, write in your journal, affirmations, positive, life-giving words over yourself. My friend, all of these cost nothing, pretty much. Buy yourself some flowers. Maybe that's going to be $10. But seriously, there are some life-giving things that you can do to take good care of yourself as a mom. If my love language is quality time and acts of service. Doing something for myself and spending quality time alone is so life-giving for me. I love going to the beach. I love quiet spaces. I love going on a walk by myself. I love doing things like meal prep and scheduling routines and writing down and even about my business, prepping things ahead of time. Like that is so life-giving for me. So discover your own love language. Now that you're listening to this podcast episode, like think and reflect, what is my love language? And how can you apply it this week to yourself? What is one thing that you can do to take better care of yourself as a mom so then you show up more replenished and restored for your family? And here's my encouragement for you as we close with this podcast episode. My friend, you matter too. It's not that your kids don't matter, it's that you matter too. Most moms feel really guilty, but that guilt is false guilt for taking care of yourself. You ask yourself, am I doing anything wrong, sinful, or harmful? No, then take care of yourself, mama. If you feel depleted, resentful, and stuck in a cycle, first of all, you don't have to stay there. I want to tell you that you are not alone in this struggle. And most moms that come and work with me in my signature program, Calm Christian Moms, feel depleted, worn down, and exhausted and burnout. And that's part of the reason, not the only reason, part of the reason that they're taking it out all on their kids. I have one mama right now who has 2 kids. She works part-time. She has a lot of church commitments, and she's constantly outputting. And even on our consultation call, right away, I knew what we're going to do. There's just too much output, and there's not any input at all. And it comes out in resentment, bitterness, and anger towards her family. Nobody benefits when you're running an empty. Nobody suffers when you take care of yourself. And if you feel stuck in the cycle that you're constantly screaming, yelling at your kids, and you are reactive, there's a way out. And I want to help you. My Calm Christian Mom coaching program was designed specifically for you. If you feel lost in your anger, if it's coming out in harsh, mean ways towards your family, and you just don't know where to start, I can help you, my friends. Book a free consultation call with me. The link is in the show notes for you to learn more about the coaching program, Calm Christian Mom. And the next step is to book a free consultation call, and we'll talk about your specific circumstance. You share with me everything that's going on. I'll ask you some questions. And if I feel like my program is the next best step for you, I will share with you about the coaching program. And if not, I'll guide you in the right direction. My friend, I cannot wait to connect with you. Let's talk soon. Hey mama, do you find yourself snapping over the smallest things, like spilled milk or constant whining, then feeling horrible afterwards? If you're tired of losing your temper and you want to show up with more patience, I have something for you. It's a free training called How to Be More Patient with Your Kids so you're not screaming over spilled milk. Inside, I'll walk you through 10 simple things you can start doing today to become a calmer, more Christ-like mom, even on the hard days. To get it for free, just leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot to hello@emotionallyhealthylegacy.com. Or if you'd rather skip the wait, you can grab it right now for just $27. The link is in the show notes. Let's help you become the peaceful, patient mom your kids need.